Everybody, it's John. I'm back again with another 10-ish minute review. So I'm pretty excited about this one. I actually watched this movie last night, and I am recording this the next day uh, because of how much I love this movie. And I wanted to give it its proper due. So, first of all, this was chosen by a viewer, and the movie is Care of Kancharapalem, which is a 2018 Telugu film. It was recommended by Darman Drababu, Darman Drababu 9622. And this is what he wrote for the description of this film. I would recommend Care of Kancharapalem, a Telugu language indie movie. It is an anthology movie. Story, music, characters are amazing. My opinion, this movie is a must watch. Now, I think, Darman, I think you undersold this movie. Well, let me give you a little background first. It's directed by Venkatesh Maha. The cast, now, I did a little research on this film, and apparently most of the cast were non-actors. And Saba Rao, Pravina Parchuri, who played a role and was the producer of the film, Radha Bessi, Pranita Patnaik, Kartik Ratham, Mohan Bhagat, and Kasava Kari. Now, normally I don't, excuse me, I don't list that many cast members, but the thing about Telugu movies that I have noticed, like Malayalam, they tend to be much more grounded than the Bollywood movies. And the performances are the most real out of all the movies. And it's almost like they stick a camera in a village and just film everybody. That's how everybody act. It's very naturalistic acting. And it works in this film really, really well. And basically what the story is, it's four love stories in a nutshell. Young kids, very young, um, kids in their 20s, people in their 30s, and then all framed around an older guy, Raju, who's 59, 59, who is starting to get involved in a relationship with a woman who's 42 with a 20-year-old child. And it's the story about how, even though they're all different ages, love is love, and love is a beautiful thing. And that's the plot of the movie. And, you know, it's a threadbare plot. The story is threadbare, okay? But it's just like someone stuck a camera on blossoming relationships. Now, there's a big reveal at the end, which I won't give till the very end of this review, because to me, it's what made this movie so special. I mean, when the big reveal comes, and those who have seen the movie know what I'm talking about, I got chills because it was completely unexpected and it was wonderful. It was sad and wonderful at the same time. So for me, that's what made this movie extra special. I really enjoyed the film. I really enjoyed the stories it was telling, but the reveal is what made it for me. And if you haven't seen it, make sure you don't watch that last part. And I'll put a spoiler there so you'll know where it is. But it made this film amazing. So there is one question I have. You can talk about it in the comment section if you've seen the movie. In the opening credits, they show Raju doing yoga. And he's sitting in front of this big box with all these symbols on it. And some of the symbols look like the symbol from Germany in the 1930s. I'm not familiar with that symbol other than that. So will someone tell me what that was? Because I thought that was kind of stark, and it really kind of I was like, what was that? So as the movie progresses, they show you all the love stories, and a lot of this has got to do with caste systems, and religion, and what brings people together, and frankly, what tears them apart. And a perfect example of this is a young boy who is in love with this little girl. You know, they're in elementary school, and there's a scene where they're both walking in the rain, and one has a leaf umbrella and one has a real umbrella. So there's the difference between the casts right there. Then you meet Raju, and he's at work, and he's an attendant, and he's not an officer. So he's a lower class. So even for lunch, he sits by himself till um, what's her name? Radha joins the company, and she says, sit with us. You know, you can sit with us. There's no class system here. So that was interesting. So then, and this was a little different than a lot of Indian films. Now, I don't know if this was the subtitles or is this what they really said, but they used the term hooker. I've never heard that before in these films. I've heard prostitute, I've heard courtesan, but never hooker. So get him, another love story, and this is how it begins. Him and his buddy's gonna sleep with a hooker, but he won't sleep with the hooker because he's in love with a girl who comes by where he works. And I thought the funniest line in the film was she says to him, they're sitting on the bed and he's saying, I don't want to sleep with you. And she goes, now again, I don't know if this is the subtitle or if this is what she really said, but the line is, cut the crap and do me. And that doesn't sound like a line from any Indian movie that I've watched so far, but I thought it was hilarious. So, and she tells him, you know, he's in love with this girl, but he's afraid to talk to her. She says, talk to her. Don't be afraid. Have a drink before you do it. So that kind of teased that off. So, then there's a scene where a young girl is getting stalked. So her older sister talks to, I guess, a local gangster to take care of it because she did something for him once, and he has his guys beat up this guy, and the two girls are watching it, and the older daughter, Bargavi, they're showing her face, and as the beatdown's happening, she's kind of smiling like she's almost turned on by it, and that's how, and the lead thug there is named Joseph. That's how they kind of connect. And now they're gonna, you know, they go have a pastry party, then they go to the beach. So so all these scenes are showing how the initial relationships start. Okay, so the beginning of love, and they're all cute and they're awkward with each other. Well, one of the guys, Joseph, finds out the girl is in love with is the hooker, which is funny the way they talk, and they end up falling in love through a series of different events. And then the 42-year-old woman who's been spending time with the 49-year-old man, Raju, asks him to marry her. So he's freaking out about that because he's never been married. And now the village, and again, I don't know if this is typical of this part of India, but the village brings him in and they want to know why he's never married. Is he gay? You must be gay. And then he says, look at all the friends you hang out with. They must be gay too. Now everyone's like defending that they're not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Which is a very funny scene, but he just won't explain why he's never been married. He just won't explain. So what else happened? The scene of the two kids, the young kids, the way that he tries to win her over and he's praying to the gods and the god seems to be cooperating with him. It's just adorable because look, when you're in love at that age, it's innocent, it's sweet, it's beautiful. Um, you're not jilted yet. You don't go through the ups and downs of relationships and marriage. It's just sweet and innocent. And the way they did it was really beautiful. And the two kids playing the roles I thought were excellent in this. Um, I'm probably getting into too much of the story, but I'm telling you, I love this movie. I absolutely loved it. So there's a scene where the daughter, the 20-year-old daughter, wants to interview Raju, to make sure he's right for her mother. And it's a funny scene. She pulls out a notebook and starts asking questions, and he's getting all ticked off because he says, "You have to respect me. I'm your elder." But it's very funny. So then now the movie goes into these how these beautiful relationships split apart. and it's very sad. Like Joseph and the girl decide they're going to Bar Gavi are going to get married. Well, Joseph is Christian, and Bargarvi is Brahim, I think it is. That's the religion. And the father finds out about it and doesn't want them together and says he will kill himself if she marries him. And they even imply that he attempted it because now he comes back from a month-long job to try to do something legit, and she's married to somebody else without explanation. So just, and he's devastated. And then the little girl and the little boy, he helps her to perform in a talent contest, and she does really well. Well, the father doesn't want her singing the song, and he hears it on the street. Holy convenient timing, I know. And he comes in and starts slapping her around in front of the school and takes her out of the school and puts her in a private school, never to be seen again. So there's that. Um, and then the little boy's father is building this giant 30-foot idol, and he only gets paid when it's finished. And he builds this beautiful idol in the backyard, and he's so proud, and he's going to get this money. Well, the little kid who's been praying to this god and everything's been going right now is very upset with the god and starts throwing rocks at it and just puts holes in it. So when the elders show up the next day, the people are going to pay him to look at the idol. It's ruined. And it's a devastating scene. And the guy, the actor or the person who played the father has trouble speaking. So that scene where he's looking up and seeing it is devastated and he can't really communicate. He's just so upset. Well, he can't fix it. And he doesn't know the kid did it. And they show him drinking. And then the next scene is he hangs himself. Terrible. And then finally, the get him and the prostitute, who's no longer a prostitute, she's walking down the street and five guys approach her, start giving her a hard time, and she's a very strong woman, so she, kind of slaps him around or pushes him away. Well, the next scene is she's dead. So all these relationships start off beautifully and you see it developing, and then they're all gone. So and I'm like, wow, what a way to end this movie. It's so sad. A movie that started out with so much hope and promise and love, and now religion and caste system is separating people. But here's the thing, and oh, I'm sorry, there was one funny scene. The older couple decide they're going to elope, so the daughter is helping the mother climb out a window with a little rope, not a rope but blanket, and she slips and falls. And she's not a small woman; she's a big woman. And it was just kind of funny. And then they get up and run away, and that sets up, because they're her brother is about to beat well, they do beat the hell out of Raju, and you think, okay, they're going to kill him while they're at a train track, and all they got to do is cross the train track to get to Raju's village, and they stop short on the other side, and now the train goes by, and the entire Raju's village is standing on the other side with their arms folded, just staring. In other words, leave them alone or we're going to beat you down. And then they end up getting married, which was beautiful. So out of all the four stories, that one ended the happiest. Now, the big reveal. And I've given you spoilers, I admit that, but nothing's like this one. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds so you don't watch this because I'm going to give away the big reveal, okay? Be warned. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, Raju and Radha are lying in bed the night of their wedding. And she wants to know why he's never been married. So he says, she asks him, have you ever been in love? And he goes, I have been. And that's when the big reveal happens. And he now goes through each of his lost loves: the little girl in school, the prostitute, the 20-year-old who left because he was Christian. So every scene that they showed was him. And in fact, the last credit after you find this out is the journey of Raju Sundaram. And the little boy's name was Sundaram. So everything you saw, other than the older couple, was a flashback. And now you understand why he never got married, because he was in love. He was deeply in love. And each one really ended in a tragedy. And to me, I was blown away by that. And I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm getting chills. This was, I give this 5 Ladoos. I would have given it 4 if not for that ending. And the thing was, in the end, the older couple had a happy ending with all the tragedy in his life. They're married and they're both happy. And it was beautiful. This movie was beautiful. The acting was beautiful. It was not flashy. And frankly, in Bollywood movies, every guy is jacked, every woman is a supermodel. These were just ordinary people. Okay. And again, they use most part non-actors, and you could tell that. And that's not a criticism at all. I think it worked so well in this movie. Just beautiful. I'm telling you, this is in my top 5 out of all the Indian films that I've watched, and I have watched a lot of them. So thank you for that. Darman Drababu 9622. I'm going to recommend the other people on the Big Show watch this movie. That's how much I liked it. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, because some of you don't like the Telugu films, but I love this movie. So if you get a chance, check it out. Thank you for that one. That was a special movie indeed. Okay, so the next film I'm going to watch, I'm going to go off the viewer wheel for a second, and I picked one that I came up in my queue, and it's Salman Khan. I'm a big fan, as I love those tiger movies. I am going to watch Sultan, but that's not the one that I picked. The one I'm going to do is from 2010. It's called Da Bang. The trailer looked really cool. That's why I'm going to watch it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be good. You guys can tell me if it's going to be good or not. I'm watching it anyway, but you can tell me if not, okay? Okay, as always, subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and share it with anyone you think might enjoy it. Let me know what you think about the film, my take on the film in the comment section. Always love to hear from you. And I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, and have a great day.